My priorities have shifted, and as I realign my life, I find myself reflecting deeply on the connections that matter most. Your name, once part of a long list of obligations, now occupies a space in my thoughts that feels significant in ways I never expected. In the whirlwind of life, it's easy to lose sight of what really matters. But now, as I pause and take a step back, I realize that my priorities have changed. Your name is no longer just a distant memory. It's a presence that weighs on my heart, pulling me in a direction I wasn't ready for. I've spent so much time chasing fleeting things, but as my world changes, I see clearly now. My priorities are different. Your name is etched in my mind, like a promise waiting to be fulfilled. And my thoughts, though confused, are somehow drawn to you more than ever. Life has a way of rearranging the pieces. I once thought I knew exactly where I was going, but now, with a shift in my priorities, I find myself reflecting on how much your presence impacts me. Your name holds weight in a way that resonates deeper than I ever realized. The things that once seemed important to me have faded, and now I see a different path ahead. My priorities have shifted, but the feeling of having your name on my mind has become a constant companion as I try to understand what it means for us. As the days go by, I can feel the subtle shifts in my heart, and I know something has changed. My priorities have evolved, and now your name stands out in my thoughts, like an anchor in a sea of uncertainty. My feelings are conflicted, but they are undeniably tied to you. Priorities change as life teaches us valuable lessons. I never expected your name to be part of my inner dialogue, but here it is, growing louder in my mind, pulling my attention in ways that feel both inevitable and unsettling. My life is unfolding in ways I didn't plan, and as my priorities evolve, I can't help but wonder where you fit into this new story. Your name on my list is no longer just a memory. It's becoming something more, and I can't ignore the pull I feel. Change has come into my life, and with it, my priorities have shifted in ways I didn't anticipate. In the quiet moments, I find myself reflecting on you. Your name is no longer just a passing thought. It feels more like a question I'm trying to answer. The landscape of my thoughts has changed, and with it, my priorities have rearranged themselves. Amidst the chaos, your name stands out clearly, as if it's meant to guide me through this uncertainty. But the emotions I feel are complicated, unsure of what they mean. I've come to realize that life doesn't wait for us to catch up. My priorities have shifted, and now, as I reflect on what truly matters, your name rises to the surface. My emotions are tangled, but one thing is certain: you're in my thoughts more than I'd like to admit. In the rush of life, it's easy to overlook the small but significant moments. Now that my priorities have shifted, I see things differently. Your name is no longer just a fleeting thought. It's an anchor that holds my attention, reminding me of feelings I can't quite explain. Things have changed, and so have I. My priorities have shifted, and with that shift, your name is no longer buried in the background. It's become a focal point in my mind, a reminder of what was and what could still be. My thoughts and emotions are uncertain, yet undeniable. As the world turns and my life changes, I realize that my priorities are no longer what they once were. Your name, once just a passing thought, now occupies a space in my heart that I never saw coming. The emotions I feel are raw and real, even if I'm not sure what they mean. With every passing day, my perspective shifts. My priorities have changed, and so has the way I think about you. Your name, once lost in the noise, now stands out, commanding my attention in ways I can't ignore. It's a feeling that confuses me, but it also feels important. Change is inevitable, and with it comes a shift in what truly matters. My priorities are different now, and as I reflect on what's important, I realize that your name isn't just a passing thought. It's something I can't shake, something I can't quite let go of. The path ahead of me is unclear, but one thing is certain. My priorities have shifted, and your name has come into sharper focus. It's as though my thoughts and feelings are being pulled toward you, and no matter how much I try to ignore it, the pull remains undeniable. As my life takes new turns, I've realized that my priorities have changed. You're no longer just a name in the background of my thoughts. Your presence is becoming more real, more significant, and the feelings I'm grappling with are both confusing and powerful. My priorities have been rearranged, and in the process, I find myself constantly thinking about you. Your name no longer seems like just a distant thought.